Yeah, I see on the shirt you got the ASTM logo. Tell me about that.
ASTM International started 125 years ago. At that time it was an acronym, American Standards for Testing and Materials. Today they've rid the acronym because it's actually an international, so it's not American. But ASTM sets standards for safety, essentially, right? In a lot of manufacturing and materials applications. Solvent, obviously. There's different divisions. D37 is the cannabis specific division of ASTM, and they're setting standards from everything from how long will a pre-roll burn after a smoker last exhales, because if that pre-roll were to burn down an apartment complex, the insurance company is going to start to look at the liability of how long that pre-roll burned without being smoked, and did that cause the fire?
Hey guys, how's it going? We're here at Hall of Flowers with Lex, Solvent Direct, and his new favorite employee, Kyle. So what's up, guys? What are you doing here?
Hanging out. It's a beautiful day. Weather's good. Ton of amazing brands represented here. So just checking out the vibes.
Yeah, Kyle, you've been touring around a little bit too?
Yeah, been all over Southern California and the Bay Area last week, and just here to check in on our current customers, maintain those relationships and see what we can do for all the other guys.
So Solvent Direct, what do these customers, what are they buying from you? What do you guys do?
For the new friends, we're a one-stop shop for lab supply. So any manufacturer, processor, extractor that's doing a solvent-based or even a non-solvent-based, we supply rosin as well. But the consumable supply that's used in those labs on an ongoing basis, with local delivery, consistency, and reliability. And at this point, we're now 6 locations coast to coast. So we cover every time zone, and we deliver those products in a reliable and consistent way.
You guys deliver them yourselves, or that's like a third-party thing?
If we have to, we will. I will get in the truck.
You got one in the back seat.
But no, we've got an amazing team of drivers and warehouse teams that are confirming orders a day prior and dispatching those deliveries the next day.
But it's not like UPS shows up with my bottle of...
No, it's not third-party freight. We have a private fleet that's 100% dedicated to extraction. So it's a one-stop shop on a fleet truck, and you've got kind of the convenience of even seeing where your truck is and when it's going to arrive to you, which is really important because the operational cost of not having key supplies can cost a business significantly.
Sure. Time lost, yeah.
The electric bill keeps ticking.
What do you got, an app or something?
We do. So we actually use a telematic software that creates text notifications of when the truck is dispatching, how far out it is, and when it's set to arrive.
Nice. That's fun. It's nice and handy.
Yeah, the customers really enjoy it because you've got, like I said, the operational lean manufacturing, right? And that's where we are right now. The market is consolidating and becoming a different market than it was last year and certainly 10 years ago. And the ability to be lean and profitable for an extraction or manufacturing business is really reliant on operational efficiencies. And then when you combine with that, the fire department, who's got a lot of MAQs, right? You got a maximum allowable quantity for flammable on site with a manufacturing facility. They're dependent on having our supply. And so that becomes a really important thing, because it's shutting down because your ethanol is late or shutting down because your butane delivery didn't show up on time can cost a business significantly, especially on an annualized basis.
Yeah, surely. Yeah. So, Kyle, what are your customers down here working on?
We're seeing a lot of large-scale THCA, mainly ingredients, right, for vape hardware and for things like pre-rolls. There's still some quality BHO out there on the market that's being sold as...
You see pizza slabs anywhere?
Haven't seen any pizza slabs. There's been lots of jars of diamonds and jars of terps, and that seems to be the trend for a lot of the large scale extraction, forward companies.
Yeah.
And then you have your single source guys that are still making fire dabbables, generally with like the stuff that they're not washing, right? I just wanted to touch on quality as well, and how important that is for the customers, our customer base. Something that I've been trying to do at Solvent Direct is bridge the gap between the our suppliers and the end users, right? And make sure that their needs are being taken care of. Because things, like impurities and other issues, quality issues, would also cause downtime with the logistics, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
something that when I came on board, really trying to focus on that aspect of things to quality assurance for our customers.
Yeah, I see on the shirt you got the ASTM logo. Tell me about that.
ASTM International started 125 years ago. At that time it was an acronym, American Standards for Testing and Materials. Today they've rid the acronym because it's actually an international, so it's not American. But ASTM sets standards for safety, essentially, right? In a lot of manufacturing and materials applications. Solvent, obviously, there's different divisions. D37 is the cannabis specific division of ASTM, and they're setting standards from everything from how long will a pre-roll burn after a smoker last exhales, because if that pre-roll were to burn down an apartment complex, the insurance company is going to start to look at the liability of how long that pre-rolled burned without being smoked, and did that cause the fire? And then all of a sudden, a cannabis pre-roll company could be liable for that issue. So there's a lot of standards that are involved in every application. I mean, if you look at a paint can, it has an ASTM stamp on it. There's a lot of things that they regulate. They started with normalizing steel for train rail. Because back in the day, 125 years ago, one guy would build his rail with one type of steel, the other guy would build a different type of rail and try to connect it, and the train would fly off the track. It wasn't normalized. And so setting standards is really important. And I think what Kyle's getting at, which is awesome, because Kyle has done a tremendous job, and he's learned. He doesn't need to learn much about extraction, but what he's learned a lot about is what goes on in Houston and in Bakersfield, and where you have petroleum refinement and the purification of gases and chemicals that are used in this application. We know, although the industry is over-regulated in a lot of ways, it's under-regulated when it comes to the standards for safe extraction, responsible extraction, right? And that's the key. So when you start ASTM writing standards for safe butane and safe ethanol, we're not trying to drive up the cost, right? One of our core value propositions is that with the volumes that we deliver to extractors, we can keep those costs down. It's the buyer's club, right? It's Costco.
Sure.
The more but when it comes to the purity standards, there isn't a lot of regulation on it. There just isn't. And this application is really unprecedented. I mean, when you look at butane as a propellant, that the food and beverage industry has used for many years as an aerosol propellant. Pam cooking spray has a lot of butane in it. It has more butane than a state licensed extract with residual when it comes to residual solvent. There wasn't a lot of applications for high purity stuff. So this industry is booming, right? I mean, it's happening all over the country. We just opened the Northeast and New York and New Jersey. I mean, it's a really exciting time over there. ASTM, we work with regularly to help write those standards. And fortunately, like Kyle says, he's bridging the gap. He's connecting the big boys down in Houston that are big petroleum refinement businesses, and we're writing new standards. I just saw ASTM. There's going to be a new specification for safe hydrocarbon butane solvent in extraction, reducing thresholds of dangerous impurities like benzene from 1 ppm allowable in a extraction grade butane to 0.5. So we're tightening those windows to make a safer product for responsible manufacturing.
Yeah, that's awesome, because a lot of the regulation in cannabis is just like gatekeeping. So once the big corporations buy their way in, then there's no rules on the back end where they're important. I'd rather everybody be able to get in and then have to play by stringent rules of safety than it's really tough to get in. But once you're there, make as much money as you can, boys.
Yeah, there's some challenges in doing that, bridging the gap. But, I think we've made some progress there, honestly, in the last few months. And looking forward to providing that quality going forward.
Cool. Any of your brands here at Hall of Flowers?
Yeah. I believe there's quite a few here for sure.
Yeah, California, popular market.
And more to come.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How can people find you?
I mean, obviously, solventdirect.com, socials at Solvent Direct on Instagram. We're probably shadow banned a little bit.
Are you going to share your personal? It's not shadow banned.
No.
You got to earn that one. One of my favorites.
That's between us. 1833 Pure Gas. 1833 Pure Gas is a good way to get in touch with us. But we do have a great team of people that are ready. Kyle's been leading the sales team. We have a well-oiled machine. We've spent a lot of time building standards, process, procedure to deliver high-purity products for a great value consistently. And
family owned too. It's you and your brother. I like that.
Yeah. We are not yes.
You're a family unit.
No, we are. We're 100% we are, but we're not. I think what you see in a lot of packaged gas and large-scale chemical distribution companies is that you're talking about it's petroleum.
Right.
And it's a division. Even if they're just selling to extract, we're 100% dedicated to extraction, but those are huge conglomerates that are really ruled by shareholders and multiple partners. Every decision we make is always in the best interest of the extractor. And I mean, not to toot Kyle's horn, but having somebody that spent so much time in labs all over the country has been critical, because he's not just bridging the gap between Solvent Direct and Houston, where we really want to focus on quality, but he's bridging the gap from the inner workings of a lab, the lab guys that are in there day in and day out, to Solvent Direct, and then also to the boys in Houston that are producing these products and making this full circle and making sure that quality is what it should be.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds like you guys got it all figured out.
Figuring it out, but we're on the right track.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks, guys. It was great having you and pleasure talking with you. So
thank you.
It's our pleasure, man. Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah.
Cool.